Now let's go for purples and pinks. So let's add some blue into there, and you can paint this any colour you want. There's a tree off in the distance, bigger one. Let's end with a bead down here because I'll need that to paint the water. Some other leftover paint there, we'll use that. Another tree, and they're getting smaller, and there's my area of light. Keep it perhaps towards red. There's all wet into wet stuff here. Get that bead. Don't necessarily need the bead there so much, but maybe I'll use it. And while that's still damp, distant tree there. This will all be much darker over here. So let's paint the water, which I can just use clean water. Just wet this area, make it really wet. And then as I break into that, my board's at about 30-degree angle, so things will run down. Make it slightly darker in there, but let's keep an area of light here. So the paper's very wet now, so anything I add onto this needs to be thick paint that it's going to get diluted. So perhaps I want a slightly darker tree there. See, that maybe going to make that a little bit darker. And this is all wet into wet, so soft edges everywhere here. Can't get any hard edges at the moment because the paper's too damp. So they'll come later. And it's just letting it paint itself the best you can. Maybe try and make that more of an angle. No, that didn't work. Let's use my trusty sponge. This is a sponge that's just been dipped in my water, squeezed out, so it's just damp. So I can put my area of light in there. And maybe even on another clean part of the sponge. Give it a little spray. And then dry that off. That's the wet into wet stuff done. So if you're enjoying this loose approach to watercolours and you like this relaxed kind of atmosphere, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe so you can watch some more of these videos. And if you hit that notification bell and click all, you should get all of my videos. So you can see there, although I started off on dry paper, I eventually had the paper wet all over and made it very wet, that it's almost impossible to get any shape when the paper's that wet. So there's no point trying to draw houses or paint houses, buildings, cars, or whatever when the paper's that wet. It just disperses. So this lovely soft effect, which is great for misty effects or trees off in the distance. But now we're on dry paper. So we will get shapes that we want to keep. So for instance, let's have perhaps a tree there, light against dark. So that will keep its shape because we're on dry paper. And if I want to soften that, I can make it wet underneath. I'm using my spray bottle there. Let's put a bit of Hansa yellow in there as well. See what that does. So I've got combination of dry paper and damp paper there now, so that gives me more options for edges, harder and softer edges. I'm just wetting areas that I want to soften. I want a combination of hard and soft edges, maybe envisioning that the mist is perhaps coming across there. Now let's go my darkest dark there. This tree is now perhaps a little bit closer to us, and that can come right down here. Let's just flick a bit of water on there. As long as I retain this area of light, we should be good. Go dark in there, and then just use water. Pour that into there. Again, take my sponge, because it's less likely to damage the paper. Get rid of that line there. That misty effect. Just make sure if you're doing this, you just keep rinsing that sponge off. Not too much water on it, just have it damp. There's the mist on there. And remember, you can do too much. But while the paper's damp like this, you're quite safe. That's when it starts to dry, we've got to be careful. And this is 7.5 inches by 11, so it's a fairly small painting. And I've just been using this size 14 Skoda Ultimo, so it's not a small brush. Add a bit of connection there. Again, going darker here to maybe concentrate that light. And just water. Just see what interesting effects we can get. This is the time to experiment when you're doing stuff like this, and then you can perhaps use that in your other work. I think I preferred having that light going across there. And with a sponge, it won't damage the paper like a brush will, so you can do more repairs on your work, shall we say. Right, I think that's probably enough messing about with a sponge. Let's have a go at putting some detail in. So some branches. So we've got dry paper here, so that's going to give me opportunity for hard edges. It's soft edges down here because it's damp, so you can't get any hard edges. Dry paper there, just light against dark. So let's dry it off and see what it looks like. So that's worked well. Take off the tape, reveal that lovely crisp edge. see it as a final piece. Paint things like that all day long, and you know, you should give it a go. You know, they won't necessarily be a success to start with, but they will eventually. And this relies totally on edges and contrast. We've got soft edges, crisp hard edges that give it that sense of detail. Without these crisp edges, it wouldn't be anything, and without the light, it wouldn't be anything. So that's all you've got to do. Make sure you get area of light in the right place and the sharp edges in the right place, so you've got a good combination, and it's just a, you know, a lovely atmospheric watercolor. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Good luck with your watercolors. Keep going. It's a wonderful medium to paint, and if you're struggling as a beginner, it's completely normal. It will get easier. I don't think you ever master watercolor, which is great. It's always interesting and there's always something new to learn. But do hit that like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.